Hello, hello. Good morning. We're back playing The Last Caretaker. Let me go ahead and go back into the game that we were playing yesterday, or the save that I think I'm going to go with, which is getting the furthest down into the human making process at Lazarus. I did the quest where I pulled the human seeds from Prometheus and brought them to Lazarus 3 times. So it was a bit of a bug. The answer to the bug is to save the game, exit out, and then go back in. Exit out completely. And we are growing a visual technician. We are growing, pardon me, a door jammer. I have absolutely no idea what a door jammer does, and why you might need one on a space station full of humans, or why you might need that particular combination of traits in order to get one. And this has a mutation. That's the first I've seen of that. Overdrive metabolism, profession, health assistant. That's interesting. Maybe I pumped something a little bit too much into it. All right. So the part of the game loop that we are in is you bring seeds from the seed vault. That's that icon off in the end. I need to go turn it off at some point. The seed vault is north of Lazarus. You put the seeds into your system or into your boat. You bring them back here. You plug them into the Lazarus rack. And then you use this interface to feed food and memories into the Lazarus rack. And that is what gives you the traits that will be the human. These are all the memories that we've been collecting from the teddy bears, the basketballs, and stuff like that. They all have different traits. You put in different traits to get different types of humans. So, then there's a 10-minute timer. The way I have set this up is I have power coming from the boat. I have power coming from the roof. And I think I have a battery up here, but what I wanted to do with this little porch off to the side, before I do this too much. See, this is not actually connected to the outdoors at the moment because do I have cable? I do not. Because the wind turbines are always just kind of janky. Yeah, see, you're not useful anymore. I think what I'm going to do, I don't mind wind turbines where I have the capacity to fix them on the regular, but these are not useful. So I think these are going to have to come down before I go too much further. And we will either just put, wrong button. We will either just put solar over here, or we will put more solar on the roof and bring it down from there and just not have power generation over here, because it requires leaving these doors open anyways, and I don't like that. One more thing to worry about. It's one more thing to keep track of. It's one more thing to turn on and off as we're going. So yeah, these are in shadow most of the day anyway, so they're really not even good for, they're not even really good for solar over here. Let's go ahead and break you down. And in theory, they fill that battery, but there are other ways to fill that battery. And there are other places to put that battery too. So my method for Lazarus was to put a battery and a water tank behind each of the Lazarus racks. So there's 4 down there, 4 of each down there. Make sure they're full before I get started on this process. And I have a handful of other batteries in places that are also feeding into that. Essentially have some buffer zones. I did the same thing down here as well. That is back of the room. This is the back of the room.
You've brought forth new life. From seed to a living, breathing human. This is the promise fulfilled. This is the culmination of all your efforts. The child must travel beyond our reach, to the stars, where their future awaits.
All right. Escort the grown human to Exodus Station, located southeast from the Lazarus complex. So, you are not on a timer, which means that you can essentially sit there until we're ready to go. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now, some advice. Do not get more than 3 seeds, or do not get more than 4 seeds from the seed vault at any given time, because they have to go into the racks, and you only have 4 racks. They also need a lot of food and a lot of memory, so even doing them 3 at a time could be a problem, because you're not going to have enough to make to do this process for too many all at once. I've already had to start thinking about ways. That is food processing up there. That's the cafeteria. I left everything that was built in up there. And we're just going to do all that over there, because I don't feel like bringing the food processor down here. That's what some folks have done. Those things I've wasted time doing. So these are going to sit here, and these are going to refill slowly. We have some bio waste. Every time because I only brought 3 seeds, that's why there's nothing in the 4th seed, 4th rack. It is doing a little herky-jerky. I think that is when it's auto-saving. Lazarus is also a very resource-intensive area, speaking of the resources of your computer. So it will occasionally make demands that other spaces don't. So this is food processing. So you bring the bio-waste here, turn on this machine, which uses water and electricity, similar to the recycler. You dump things in there, and this cracks me up. It just spits them out. So, for example, it's spitting out fat. I need fat. That's good. Don't put this on your boat and point it over the edge, because, I have no idea whether these will bounce off the side of your boat or not. I poked it into a corner where they couldn't go anywhere. I like this, though, because I need fat. Bio-waste gives you fat, so when you run across that, keep an eye on it. That is such a cool view. So I brought 3 seeds because the rocket at the other end only takes 3 pods. So I figured, why bother with the 4th one? Okay, and I did have some food going. So we'll go into the food container. That's the wind turbines. That's plastic. I have 2 boxes here. This one has got food as well. What I kept running low on was fat, so it's good that this has spit out some. All right. Can you take that? No. Public fat. I think I can put this back in there too, and then some of it. Yeah, now it's full. All right, so we have plenty of everything else that we need to make food. Now we can make these, but we are missing the vitamin D to make some of the more complex ones. I think the more of these you have, because I've got the 3 basic ones, the more of the uncommon ones you have, the more you can mix and match. There's a math based on what you put in that, helps you get past the weight and height. But there's a little bit of experimentation. Eventually someone's going to come up with the details of how precisely you get what, but I do not have that as yet, so I just made it up. I think that's why one of mine says it has a mutation. I don't know what that means. Honestly, because that's the first I've seen of that. Please remove the fully developed pod. So let's think about how we're going to do this. The thing about leaving immediately is that none of these batteries are going to fill while we're gone. This process is only processing while we're at Lazarus. So actually, I need to check to see if these are full. Are you full? You're filling. All right, so wait for that to finish filling. Wait for these. You can see each one of them has a battery in a water tank that is specific to that rack. And that's my buffer at that level. And then downstairs, I've got a couple other water tanks. What I want to do is, let's go up to the roof and see what's up on the roof. What's left up on the roof. There are a couple of spaces that I've not gotten into that have some resources and some memories. Lazarus has got all sorts of stuff going on that has things that could be done. What do you have in here? You have a small diesel container. Bring that back down. All right, so this has been draining. These are okay, but I want minimum 3 more of them. These are in such state. These should just be replaced by the Luminaxes, honestly. But in order to really do solar plus battery, you need more batteries. And I kind of just have some spot batteries like this one. You need a sort of a battery bank. I can't tell if that is the angels creaking as they pass overhead or if the soundtrack's trying to warn me. All right, so those are going to turn on in a minute. What is the new? Polyurethane glass and gold. So I've got a couple of different stashes of the more common materials that just seem to pile up without any warning. but most of my stuff currently is back at the boat. This is also a very intensive area because there's so many buildings up here and those suck up power. That needs to be taken care of. The problem with taking care of it is that the angels get in the way. And they get very, very rude. I did not bring my gun. All right. They get very, very rude, angels do, if you shoot them. Strangely enough. Oop. All right, I don't have anything to make anything up here. That's what that's telling me, which makes sense. I did a minimal amount of cleanup around here, getting a lot of the resources up, but I did not crawl into literally every corner. Because that is very time consuming and very repetitive. So at a certain point, I just said, you know what, that's close enough. And left it at that. I'm pretty sure that thing that was up the pipe. Oh, there's another one over here. Let's see how my flamethrower works on you. I have a flamethrower now. Did you know that? Yes, that's right. I'll be able to take care of you without the angels getting in the way. We will, however, wait for them to clear out. All three of you? Are you passing through? Are you going away? Yeah. Now your friend is coming over? Yes. And you're still on your patrol. That's fine. Go away. There we go. All right. Go sideways. I'm just going to pull out the crowbar. No one's upset. You're still blue? Great. Okay. Hey, robot friend. All right. Another thing that makes it tough to operate up here is when the weather moves in, because it's such a large area, a lot of things tend to get very herky-jerky. Yep. All right, what am I going to do with you? I'm going to take you down. Well, I'll leave you up until I've got the stuff I want to use to replace you. All right, so let's take this back to the boat and that I am to a certain degree filling time here because I want those batteries to recharge. So we will do this one small project and we will try not to get too distracted because we've met us and we know what had to happen. So I'm watching my weight and I'm watching my battery and we'll just keep doing this until one of them is nailed. We won't be taking the flamethrower everywhere though because I don't have as much petrol as I used to. I did get 3 charges out of the 1 petrol tank though. That was good. Give you a frame of reference for how long they last. All right, actually, something that might be fun is something I don't think I've done yet over here. Somewhere over here, are 2 metal plates. Now, these, actually, no, I'm going to put this back when I'm done because I don't want to fall down the hole. Okay. This is a ladder that goes down into the depths of Lazarus. So, okay, no, enter. I still don't have any power cable. Enter. There we go. Alright. Where did the ladder take us out? It took us out into the Lazarus chamber. Hard to see from up here, and I would not advise walking too far along the railings. But these are those big struts that go along the top. And we have a stash. And we have a robot friend. Hello, robot friend. Goodbye, robot friend. And then we have the metal plate. Now, I imagine there are some nice folks out there who are trying to figure out ways that you can parkour around these edges. I am not so crazy. I suspect there's a similar space maybe that you get to either maybe from the bottom up or from the top. I think if there was a ladder down from each corner of the roof, somebody would have said something by now. But as far as I can tell, this is the only one. And there may well be some pipes that you can jump through. I'm not experimenting with that. Now, if you aim it right and you fall to your death, you land in the water, which there's no fall damage if you land in the water. But if you screw up, if you don't stick the landing, then you land on all of the stuff that's down there, and you will take fall damage. Oop. And you will die. All right, so thank you. Come on. That didn't work. It didn't take longer to put these on than it is to take them off. Close enough. I just don't want to fall down the hole while I'm running around up here. So, on it. I'm gonna kick it. Second time, no better than the first. Hmm. That worked. All right. So if there is another one, it would be over. Oh, there's slime over here. Slime. Well, I do need slime goo. It would be somewhere over here, but I haven't seen it. What is your problem? Well, see, now you have a basket. All right. I mean, I guess I could. Is it under here? It's gotta be somewhere, right? If we're going with the idea that there are alternate ways down to that space. If we're not, then this is a waste of time. But if you're meant to get through those other gantries, then probably way over there. This is part of the resource management part as well, too. Do you take everything back to the boat? Is it a constant up and down, or do you stash X amount of this material and Y amount of this one everywhere you go and just sort of constantly maintain some sort of minimal level? I may have, and your friends just abandoned you down there. Yeah. I bet there's some in that bin too. Okay. While we've been doing this, what is the status of our batteries? Our batteries are minimal. Okay. Back to the boat. We need a minimum 3, maybe more of the mini boxes is what I'm thinking. Put them in this and bring them back. See, that's one of those is where we were. As far as getting to the others, I don't know. Well, any more copper, polyurethane fabric. See, the copper would build me lots of bullets, but that's pretty much all it would do. If I had plastic, it would build me lots of cape, but I don't. So, it's not turn off. Not particularly useful. Mindful of where you're pointing those things. And this may take a minute. I'm also investing heavily in growing my battery because I don't like having to do this very often. But then when I do have to do it, it's interesting. Apparently, I need to do it this way. Right. Here we go. All right, you're coming with me. I'm going to leave the pods for the moment because I'm not going anywhere until after those batteries are full. This was another stays box. It was the things that went to the boat box. All right, where's my boat these days? There's my boat. Actually, those are the Lumi Maxes. I wonder, the ones up top are Lumi Mids. That might be why. See that way? Might be why I need different ones. All right, so you need to come out because you off to go into. No, come on. You need to come out because you have to go into the recycler. I have a lot of things in my recycler. Okay, so the recycler's going to be making a lot of noise at the moment, but I suspect I'm going to need it. Let us also rearrange our boombox. You are my boombox. Well, you're some of my boombox. Actually, let's keep you. I'm going to need a bigger boombox. Your memories, your pipe. You can at least take this. You out. Take you out. Take you out. Going to need a bigger boombox. Which means that you are going to be. This is bioorganic that I want to hold on to. Your vitamin D, your omega-3, you're going to be things that have to go back to food processing. You are not my poop box at the moment. You are something else. No. You are now my boombox. So, sniper stuff goes in here. This goes in here. That's fancy. You can go in here. I'm not going to take this at the moment. I'm going to take the electric pistol. Now, my electric rifle ended up somewhere. And I don't know where. I can just plug that into the diesel at some point. This is the bottle of petrol that I used to fill the flamethrower. All right, so I'm going to need good pulling power. I'm going to need to put all of this away. Just put as much as we can and fill as much as we can at the moment. I think it may be time to build some more flurry holds. What I'm going to want eventually is a 40 hold of all of the super important materials that we're going to be needing. Silicone overflow. You are obviously fabric. You are glass. These are little overflows. That's fine. We're going to need that in a minute. It's also how you get your XP is by looting. So important to do this. Oh, wait. Master by reference. All right, move there for a moment. You can come out. You can move there for a moment. No, I was just talking. I want to take down that thingy. And the reason I'm keeping the sniper rifle separate is that I don't actually have a sniper rifle yet. So I have to try and do it with the other stuff. So the default loadout is action. The electric with the, yeah. All right, container. It's in. I'm just going to do double bullets. Okay. On the boombox, you are going to be something else. What are you? You are your food. Or you will be food. All right, so there. You come up here. You will lower the net. And over there. What have you got? You have bioorganic and biodark. Might as well run. You are this. Take all of that. You don't have anything in there. You were the backup food. Okay. Keep trying to warn me about leeches and knife. You're going to be our things we don't need yet. All right, connector ports. I don't think we need the wind turbines in here. And I don't think we need the filtering system. Let's say we want the Lumi Maxes. We want to add all parts. Do we want to add all parts or do we want to add missing? All right, this says that we can make one. So let's do add missing parts. And we do not need the wind turbine and we do not need the filter. So, get you out. Put you over in here. Put you in here. Put you in there. Right. Now, from now on out, we should be making put all parts. So we could make one if we wanted, but only one. And we're going to make 3. 3 total. I'm going to double check that that's what that's making. Yeah. That had better be what that's making. Okay. That can go in that. That can go back up to the roof. Now, you can be turned off. Let's sort this out. You are gold. You are going to live over here. This is technically in close enough that it can pull if it needs to. We're polyurethane, likewise, going to live over here. And we are going to make 2 boxes, one for rubber and one for, this is glass. This is glass. One for rubber and one for glass. So we're going to go ahead and do this on our person. And say add all parts to queue and build. Come on. That's enough. Close enough. All right, waiting for parts. This will take a minute. Build. I'm missing first key. So. Nope. Faithful. Faithful. No, okay. Why didn't you pop in? Because you're aluminum. That's why. Okay. Feed me, Seymour. There we go. I gotta get these built upstairs because I'm obviously not generating enough power. Okay. Move over there. Move over there. Should probably not be going anymore. Make you light. There we go. All right, so you are my new solar panels. You can go in here. There we go. Aluminum and glass. Aluminum. Aluminum and silicone. That's what I'm with. Okay. All right, let's go upstairs and sort out some of our power. The other thing, of course, is that parking the boat here parks it in the shadow for some of the day, and that minimizes some of the intake, I suspect. There is a faster way up the side of the building, but not while carrying a box. And while carrying a box, you have to go through the elevator. All right, and I'm no longer drawing downstairs. I think that is that. Those can be turned off. That will simplify that. Because these sometimes continue to draw power even if they are not doing anything. So turn you off. And turn you off. You should be full. Yes, 2000 by 2000. And turn you off. And turn you off. You do not connect to anything. Okay. So now it's taken the long way around, but it is going all into those spaces. Another thing that I could do if I wanted to create some more buffers is I could put batteries downstairs next to each of the water purifiers. So the idea is to just kind of have, if I could do a battery here, and I want to do a battery bank where there's just like a bazillion and one batteries lining the walls. I would prefer to have batteries next to the objects that they're going to be powering and then connect them into a circuit that will allow them to power things, to pass power around if needed. So that battery up on where I have that backup solar is a little redundant. See, that's really low. That should be it. Let's put you over here because the wires go already here. So, get you on. So walk over here. You down. To build Luminax. Face it the right direction. And you can do the same over there. Build. Luminax. You can connect there and contribute. See, that has 2 on it, and those over there only have 1. So I suspect that they are the mids, not the maxes. So this is going to help. And in fact, taking those other solar panels off that little porch area and bringing them up here. Where's my other Unimax? What are you missing? You're missing an alloy frame. Oh my god. Do I not have any alloy frames? This is what happens sometimes when we do the send missing. Yeah. Alright, you can be there. No, I don't need that. What does an alloy frame require? Alloy frame requires iron and plastic, 2 of each. So let's go get some metal and some plastic. And you're going to give us some metal. We are going to overdraw just in case. Now what gives us plastic? I don't like breaking down those boxes until I have to. Where's some plastic? Alright, let's break you down. Because you're in the way, if nothing else. This is the interesting thing about these games. This particular game is that resources do not respawn. So see, there's a bunch of plastic. So if you... There's some plastic. Okay. So if you clear out literally everything, and then you find yourself needing something, you're going to end up making a lot of trips down to that boat. I suspect that I am going to need to do a pass through some of the habitats in order to get myself I suspect I'm going to need to make a pass through the habitats in order to get myself resources that I can stash places like this. There is a central warehouse. There's a lot of stuff in some of the other hub areas where you're going to be spending a lot of time. If you remove that stuff onto the boat and your boat is parked too far away, it becomes very difficult to know what to do or where to go find things. All right. Now, I need... I need 3 alloy frames, and apparently I can only make 1 because I don't have... No. I can only make 2 because I'm missing 1 plastic. All right. Sake of not having to go anywhere. More. See that herky-jerky? That was either an angel passing directly over me, or that was the autosave. And that's the storm moving in. I can't decide if I like the weather. I certainly respect it. It's fantastically built in terms of the game, but it is also extremely melodramatic. I've been wandering around without sleeping. It just sort of sweeps in and sweeps back out again 3 minutes later. All right, you should be satisfied now. Add missing postage. Part of what's going on with this is that it is the font is so tiny that it's sometimes hard to read exactly what it is talking about. All right, we are actually coming up on an hour mark, so this may be where I leave it, and then I'm going to take down the stuff on the porch. I may also build some more batteries, but I will probably come back to actual gameplay when I'm ready to leave Exodus. The other thing that I may do is I may upgrade the stuff that's up here, those 3 solar panels. And then, there we go. Oop. Whack me in the head. There we go. All right, so now this is these output a lot. They output about 6 to 8 kilowatts per hour. So that is going to help fill things a lot quicker. These are the half size. They only output 5 at most. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave it. We are going to finish just doing a layer of upkeep here at Lazarus, and then I will be back when it is time to go to Exodus. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.